Hi everyone, my name is Gabby with Arizona Science Center, and thank you so much for joining us today for our live demonstration. So what we're going to do today is we're going to investigate the five senses. Start thinking, what are our five senses? What do they do? Where are they? And how do we use them to learn about the world around us? So we're going to do an investigation to learn about each of these five senses, and then we get to do an experiment that you guys can do at home as well, called ice balloons. So first of all, what are our five senses? There's five of them. Maybe a little hint on the whiteboard behind me. We have five senses, and those senses are sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. Now, what are all of the things that we have on our bodies that function that let us do this? Well, we see with our eyes. Our eyes help us see colors and patterns and things all around us. What do you think our ears do? If you said that our ears hear, you are correct. Our ears help us hear sounds. What about our noses? What could our noses do? Our noses let us take in smells. Now, what about our hands? Might these help us in one of our senses? Our hands help us with our sense of touch. And the last one, the tastiest sense, is our mouth. That helps us taste things, whether they're sour or sweet. So let's see some examples of these five senses. Let's start with sight. Now, all of us may not have each of these five senses, but we can use these five senses to learn about the world around us. So sight, what kinds of things can you see with your eyes? You can see color and textures and shapes and patterns. What do you see in this I Spy game? Do you see any items inside there? Do you spy an eraser top? What about a feather? Do you see anything else? What about a little dowel right here? Can you see a little pipe cleaner? What else can you spy with your eye? What about a rubber band? Nice job investigating, guys. So our eyes give us insight into what we can see around us. Now let's move on to another one. Let's move on to our sense of hearing. What are some of your guys' favorite sounds? I really like the sound of waves crashing on the beach of an ocean. Now, sounds help us describe the world by seeing what's loud, what's quiet, what kinds of noises we're hearing, and we can use all of our five senses to investigate in science. What sound do you guys think this will make? Let's find out. Are you ready? Now, what does this sound like to you? Is it loud or quiet? Is it soft sound? Is it a jingly sound? Let's try another one. I have a little tuning fork here. What sound do you guys think this will make? And will it be different from our other instrument? Let's try. Can you guys hear that? What about that one? Is that a soft sound or a loud sound? Can you see anything happening with our tuning fork? Can you see it moving? So sound really is just vibrations. It just changes how we hear it. Let's try one more. So I have this here that will make a sound once we hit it with this little mallet. Are you guys ready? What do you guys notice with this one? Does it change when you move it in different areas? Does it start loud and then get quiet? So our sense of hearing can let us know when things are loud and soft, when things are close to us or farther away. What about our sense of taste? What is your favorite taste? I like spicy and salty. But what about something like a cookie? What would a cookie taste like? Maybe sweet. What about pickles? Maybe salty, a little bit sour. Imagine something like a lemon. Enough to make you pucker, right? So those are our senses of taste. Some of those bleed into our sense of smell. And what about our sense of touch? Take a look at this feather. Do you think it would be soft or rough and bumpy? Pretty soft, right? So now that we've talked a little bit about our five senses, we can start an investigation. So what we're going to do is we're going to make an ice balloon investigation. So you all can make this at home too. All you need is a balloon and a freezer. So mine didn't freeze that much. So if it didn't work, I have a piece of ice with me too. You want it a little bit bigger than this, but mine took a while to freeze. So first use your different senses to observe what's happening. Do you smell anything? Do you see anything? I see that it's kind of wet. It's starting to condensate, right? It feels kind of hard and really, really cold. And if you've ever tasted ice, what does ice taste like? So let's begin our investigation now. We're going to take off the balloon. So take a look at what it looks like before we take off the balloon, and then what it looks like after. What are your hypotheses? What are we going to find today? So here is our ice, our piece of ice from our ice balloon. Let's use our sense of touch to investigate. It feels kind of soft. You can use tools like a fork or toothpicks and see which areas of your ice balloon are hard or soft, which can be poked through. Now, what do you think we can do to change this ice balloon? What do you think we can do? Do you think we can alter the way it is? We can add something or take something away? Let's add a little bit of salt. What do you guys think would happen if we add salt? We're going to add salt to half of this balloon. Oh my goodness, can you see that? It's almost like it's melting the ice. It's moving it. It's changing it. Now think, what does salt taste like? I like things that are salty, like a pretzel. Delicious. Now, do you think salt looks like sugar? Do you think it'll be different than when we add sugar to our ice? Let's go ahead and try. Now, sugar and salt, they look the same, right? But do they taste the same? No, not quite. You wouldn't want to eat salt when you think it's going to be sugar. You don't want to add sugar to your to something that needs salt, right? So make some observations. What do adding these two things that look very similar do? Another investigation you can do is add food dye. Now, what are your predictions? What do you think will happen once we add this food dye? Is it going to change the way the ice looks? Is it going to change the color? Is it going to change what it smells like or what it tastes like? Let's find out. So we're going to add some of this food dye in here. You can also investigate with water, with adding something hot and cold. Wow, there goes our piece of ice. I'm going to turn it so you can see it a little bit. What do you notice? What can you see with your eyes? Is this going down the side of the ice? Now, what we learned about our five senses, all of these come into place when we're learning about this little ice block here. We can see what changes, what we're observing, what we're seeing. So I have a challenge for you guys to make observations about how things change in the world around you. That's all us scientists do. If you take something like popcorn, what does it look like before you pop it? What does it taste like? What does it smell like? And what about when you're done popping it? Does it look a little different? What does this taste like? What does this smell like? What does this feel like? Something as simple as popcorn is a scientific experiment. So for more awesome science investigations you can be doing at home, check out azscience.org and check out Connect at Arizona Science Center for more supplements for education and awesome activities that you can do to investigate science in your life all around you. Thank you guys so much for joining us for our live demonstration today. I'll see you next time.